Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you are brand new, I am very excited that you decided to join me here today for another speed build. And we are in Oasis Springs, tackling the biggest build I have ever tackled. I don't actually know if that's true. Maybe the Delgado Estate was the biggest build I've actually done, technically. But this one felt a lot more cumbersome, and it took a really, really long time to conceptualize. So it all started with a picture on Pinterest, and basically what it was a picture of the three archways that I have in the front there, and then inside of those archways there were these kind of like industrial looking windows, or kind of, I guess, more so modern looking windows. I don't really know how you would describe them, but they immediately reminded me of the windows that we got with the Moschino stuff pack. So I was like, you know what? Let's give this a shot. Like, let's try to build that front and then maybe come up with the rest of the house. Who knows how big it'll be? I don't know. We'll see what I come up with. And well, it ended up being huge because not only could I see the archways, but I could also see kind of the fenced in windows on that balcony that's not accessible. Like, that was part of the picture too. So that was the side that I was working off of, and then the rest of it just kind of sort of came together. And since it was going to be this modern, kind of luxurious Mediterranean inspired home, I figured it had to be on one of the bigger lots in Oasis Springs, and I love it. Like, I absolutely love this exterior, probably more than the interior. I have to admit, the interior was hard because I make it such a luxurious modern build. Like, I don't even know how else to describe it. And it's not my typical style. I usually like really comfy, cozy, really cluttered, like that kind of stuff. And this is totally out of my comfort zone. And yet it was so much freaking fun. Like, I loved this. And the outside is so cumbersome. Like, it is so detailed and there's so much going on because the lot itself is so big, but the house doesn't really look that big now that it's on this lot. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you would consider this a mansion. I think I'm calling it a mansion, but I feel like it's not really a mansion because there are only, I think there's technically one bedroom because the other two rooms that could of course be bedrooms are not bedrooms, so you guys will see. But basically there's one bedroom, and I think there's 2.5 baths or 3 whole baths. I'm not really sure, so I guess it kind of could be categorized as a mansion. We're just gonna go with it. I think it's a mansion. And let me just say that the roofing on this freaking build was so hard for me. I play around with it a little bit. I almost tried to follow Lil Simsy's roofing guide, basically, where you put in one giant piece kind of in the middle of your structure, and then you add on all the little pieces that kind of like mold into it. And it kind of sort of worked, but at the same time I made it such an awkward shape that I knew there were going to be a lot of like jutting out pieces all over the place. And at the end of the day, I think it actually came together pretty well, because I also struggled with the roofing on another Mediterranean build that I shared on the channel probably months ago at this point. It's the one right across the way. Did you see it? It was the island living and base game only build that I did, and that roofing was just as hard. I seem to struggle with the roofing that doesn't have any kind of like weird angles. I don't know, like the roofs that encompass the entire structure, like they're closed on all 4 sides. Maybe that's a good way to look at it. Like the enclosed roofs like that, I am not good at. I feel like none of them look good whatsoever, and yet people make incredible things all the time with these roof pieces, and it always looks incredible. And I'm just glad that this came out kind of sort of okay, but I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about this one, which is probably why I'm so scatterbrained in this voiceover, is because I am really excited and equally nervous for it because it's so unusual for me. But right now I'm kind of adding staircases to all of the little archways because the archways are essentially an enclosed little walkway around part of the build. And as you can see, I made that outdoor patio too. And I love that freaking patio so much. I wish I had that in my home, but there is a door on the inside that kind of allows you to go on this walkway around the side of the building. And that's how you gain access to that little porch. And you probably noticed as well, the front, that overhang is not enclosed. The overhang over that porch is not enclosed. So if it's raining or snowing, your Sims may not want to be out there. But I do really like it because that fireplace is really, really nice. Maybe on a colder winter or fall evening, your Sims could kind of hang out there by the fire and still get to enjoy, I don't know, the different seasons without being too cold. Maybe if it's not actively snowing, you'll be okay. But I think if it snows, there will be snow on that porch because it's not enclosed. So I don't really know how it works because I didn't test it in the winter. I tested it in the summer, which is probably my favorite season in The Sims. I think it is. In real life, it's fall, but I think in The Sims, it's summer. But now I'm working on the back and front yards. I'm kind of working on the landscaping, and I wanted it to be very, very manicured. But at the same time, I started off with it being a little overgrown, at least at this part right here. Like, I struggled with this for a hot minute because I knew I wanted a fountain there, because in the picture that I used for reference, there was a fountain right in front of those 3 archways, and it just looked so beautiful and elegant, and that's what I wanted to capture. But it seemed as though this fountain was just a little too big for that spot. If I had moved it over 1 more block, it was too close to the stairs. And then I was like, maybe I'll try a weird plant sculpture, like a shrub, and that just didn't work either. It wasn't grand enough for me. It wasn't big enough. I started pulling out some other fountains, like, oh, maybe I'll put a fountain over there. I don't know. There's gonna be a fountain somewhere. And I don't know, it just didn't work, but I found a way to make it work eventually. So I ended up kind of just sectioning it off there, and then I add some grass around the entire thing, and I think some other landscaping as well. But near the end, whether it's on camera or not, because honestly, at this point, like, I had hours of footage to go through for this build. I can't even remember if I did it on camera or not. But all that landscaping I just put there, aside from the grass, I end up dumping it. Like, it goes. Because I thought that the grass look was perfect. Like, these are the small little sections, these little square sections of grass, and that's all you get, because the entire lot is, I guess that's paving. Would that be considered pavement of some kind with some cobblestone in there? What do I know? I don't know what I'm talking about. But I really like how it came out. And actually, you probably saw me use that little tiny decorative succulent plant, and I sized it up, and then I put those trees in that. I think I saw Simlissy do that on one of her builds, and I love that trick because I love those trees, but I don't really like the trunks to those trees, and I wish we had a potted plant that was more like that. Like, actually, I pretty much wish we had one that was identical to that. I'm not even going to say like it, because we do have some like it, but I wanted one just like that. And now I'm just kind of finishing up the landscaping, and it's, like I said, very manicured. And then I end up moving on to the backyard. I do make this little kind of hangout spot where there's a grill and a bar and a dining set outside, because I figured if the Sim that lives here has to be pretty wealthy, and I feel like they entertain a lot. So my thought was that it was a couple, and I don't know what they do for jobs, but they don't have any children, and they have this giant house. And I think, I don't know, let me try to think of jobs. Like, maybe the husband is, I don't know, maybe he's in like the tech field, and he created this app that went completely, not even viral, but just like went off the charts. Everyone loved it. I don't know. And he made an absolute fortune. And maybe his wife has something to do with like the arts. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think of their backstory a little bit more, because I honestly didn't really think farther than they don't have any children, so there are no additional bedrooms technically in this home. But now I'm working on the outside bar, as well as the grilling area, and then the little dining area over here. And they actually have a hot tub too, so I used the hot tub again, you guys. You know, I was talking about how this hot tub wasn't the best birthday gift, but I used the hot tub yet again. I'm surprising myself. You guys can give me crap if you want, but I'm surprising myself, so that's kind of neat. And now I'm just kind of putting some plants on the interior portion here of the archways, because again, in that reference picture, there were kind of plants like that were a little jungly. So I wanted to make sure that I put that there because I thought it matched really nicely. And I clutter up this counter here near the grill with some wine bottles and some, I'm assuming, like barbecue sauces and marinades, and that VIP bucket. I'm assuming in the summer that ice would definitely melt, but who cares? And I also put some lights on this outside structure. However, I couldn't get the tiles to kind of come back with that fencing since I had removed it, which was no biggie. Basically, I just raised the lights up a little tiny bit so it looks as though they were attached to that quote-unquote fencing up that kind of creates that overhang, that ceiling, I guess you could say. And I do that on the back here as well as the front. So the back entrance and the front entrance have that same light, and I'm always dying to use that light. I really, really like it, but it's so modern and kind of industrial at the same time that I feel like I don't have a lot of opportunities to use it. So it was really cool to use it here. And then I move on and I tackle this little patio, which I just adore. And there is a lot of seating, but there's also that coffee table that kind of has the, I don't really know if you could call it a fireplace, but it looks as though it has like a stone fireplace in the center, which is gorgeous. And then I put an umbrella here and 2 lounge chairs next to this beautiful pool. I think that water is my favorite water too. And that sounds really funny when I say that out loud, but I think this is the water texture, I suppose you could say, that came with Get Together. And that is one of my absolute favorites. I tried a few different ones, but it just didn't look right. And here's our hot tub, everyone. I did use the hot tub. It has kind of awkward placing. I didn't really know where to place it in the backyard, but I thought this worked. I make sure that it doesn't cut into the fence there in a second, but I thought it worked right next to the pool and kind of near that dining area. So they have a lot of space to kind of relax and do a few activities outside, which is really nice. And then they have this big, beautiful fountain out here in the front as well. So they have like a little one off to the side, and this one's kind of the fountain. It's the fountain on the property. And this is from, I think, Romantic Garden Stuff, which for Valentine's Day, can I just say it was so much fun to do that giveaway. There were so many people over on Twitter. If you guys did not know, I did a giveaway for the Romantic Garden Stuff pack for Valentine's Day because I wanted to spread some love, and so many people entered, and I was so excited to give that pack away. So if you guys are interested in more giveaways, every now and then I just do them for fun because I know that I am lucky to be able to purchase all of these packs, and not everyone is able to get all of these packs. So if there's one that you guys are missing, if giveaways are something that you're interested in, definitely just let me know in the comments down below because I love doing them. I love giving back to the community. It's probably one of my favorite things, and I actually wish I had more spare change to do it more often, but I will try to do it as often as I can. But now we are on the interior, and this interior, I love it. I do. I said I didn't like it as much as the exterior, which I don't think I do, but I still love it. It's kind of a love-hate thing because it's so uncomfortable for me. I don't know, it's odd. But I wanted it to be very, very luxurious. I didn't want it to be cluttered at all. So you will not see me do my usual cluttering of this build. It was really weird. It took a long time, or at least it felt like it took a long time, but it probably didn't take as long as it would have if I cluttered the heck out of it like I usually do. But now I'm kind of working on the front entry area, and as you guys probably saw, I made this kind of huge open loft area so that spa day chandelier is hanging right in the entryway from the second story, and it's just so, so pretty. I use a lot of marble throughout this as well. I don't know if you guys noticed, but all of the tiles for the front entrance and the back entrance were actually marble tiles, I believe from Get Famous, and I use that marble kind of like coffee table there. I don't know if that's a coffee table, a console table. I use that marble console table, and I really struggled with decorating this build because we have so many wall decorations and paintings, I feel, that wouldn't fit this style. And I didn't want to use gold. Like the color scheme I was going for was grays, whites, blacks, like very clean, crisp, modern and contrasting colors. Like that's what I was going for, and I found it to be very challenging actually to do that. And even though I wanted it to be pretty luxurious, I didn't want it to be over the top. There was a balance to strike, you guys. There was a balance to strike, and it was kind of challenging, but it was really fun, and I like how it came together in the end, and I think that's what's important, and hopefully you guys enjoy it too. But I'm trying to pick a rug here in the entryway, and I think I end up sticking with that Realm of Magic sofa, which I love. Since Realm of Magic came out, I haven't used a lot of the items too often, except for when I initially kind of like ran through a bunch of builds using the new pack. But I don't know, I really liked it. And on second thought, I'm sad because I don't think I keep it. I think I changed it to a Get Famous couch because I think that furniture really fit the look I was going for. So I take it all back. That's real sad. I'm gonna have to try to use that more often. I really like the Realm of Magic stuff. But now we're on into the living room, and this is what I was talking about, like the big industrial windows here, so a lot of sunlight is let in, and I basically went with black and white wall decorations in this room, as well as black and white curtains, like very crisp, very clean, and I loved the furniture as well. To me, it doesn't look necessarily super comfortable, but I thought it fit really nicely here, and I liked how it looked, which was unusual because it's really not my style. So I was really happy with how that turned out. And now I'm just trying to figure out the blind situation because it was a little hard to find blinds I thought that fit not only the style, but also didn't cover the windows too much because I wanted them to let in a lot of that natural sunlight. So I settled on those from, I think, Movie Hangout stuff, which, can I just say, I appreciate so much because all the other swatches are super colorful and have crazy patterns, and yet we got some basic solid color swatches. Like, you go, Sims team. 3 for you, Sims team. I absolutely love that. So I love those curtains. They do look kind of elegant yet casual, so they can kind of dress up a room a little bit. And now I'm just going to toss a bookcase in the corner, and it was kind of hard to find a bookcase too to kind of fit this style, but I settled on this one, even though the white seems to be a little off. Like, if you guys notice that, it almost looks like a purpley blue white in a way. And then I add a pop of color with a plant on the coffee table there, and I kind of just toss some plants in the corners and another piece of wall art over here, and that is it. I put some sconce lights on each side of pretty much almost every single archway, but like that's as far as I go with wall decorations because I also used this paneling that's kind of decorative as well. And now we're on to the kitchen where I do use Realm of Magic. I use these countertops because I think they're absolutely gorgeous. I just wish that we had cabinets that really matched, like distinctly matched. I think I ended up using the cabinets from the Vampires pack because those seemed a little bit more elegant and they seemed to kind of fit the look I was going for. So I was comfortable with that. I thought they looked really nice. And again, the white is a little off, it seems, compared to the Realm of Magic countertops, but I thought it looked really pretty. And, you know, if you didn't pay very close attention to it, you probably wouldn't even know that they were that different. That could just be wishful thinking. I don't know, because I can definitely tell that they're different. Anyway, I really enjoyed it, and the kitchen is not very cluttered at all. I just kind of add some pots hanging over this island counter, and there are 2 bar stools, but that is not the main dining area. That entire other section over there, the other part of that archway there to the right, there's a little hallway, and then you get to the main dining area where they have this huge, long, beautiful dining table, and I think it seats, what, the long table seat 8, I think you can do? Yeah, I think you can seat 8 Sims there, so that's perfect. So if you wanted to play this as like a household of 8 somehow, then you'd at least have a seat for everyone, which is kind of nice. And now I'm kind of tossing this china cabinet in the corner, and what was really nice is that that backed into the stairs, I believe, so even if it did cut into the wall a little bit, you couldn't see it. So winner, winner, chicken dinner. And now I'm in the back little hallway, so there's this wall here, and then basically opposite it is the door to the back patio that leads to the outside. So I thought that was really nice, and it is a very kind of square home when you look at all the rooms, but I think that works perfectly because I was able to section things off really nicely. And the dining room also has a fireplace similar to the living room, and here is the big gorgeous dining table, and I believe this one is from Get Famous? I think it's from Get Famous, and I've never used it before. You can kind of see how that pattern shows up depending on how the light is hitting it. Kudos to you, like, kudos to you, Sims team. The details on that table, love them. And then I used the same curtains here just to kind of dress it up a little bit, not leave those industrial windows just so open and industrial looking. Now they kind of look a little bit modern and elegant. And then I kind of just put some plants and some little tea light candles on this dining set. And those chairs are from Discover University. That seems to be what this voiceover is, just me naming where these things came from. But I feel like a lot of folks, when they have all of the packs, they may not think about where everything comes from because they just use everything that's available to them. So I try to be really cognizant of what items I'm using and from what packs, because that way, if you're considering downloading this build and maybe you don't have all the packs, you might know which big ticket items you won't have. Like, they won't be available if you download it. Do you know what I mean? I try. I can't do it all the time, but I definitely try. And now I'm working on the bathroom downstairs, so it is a full bathroom, and I don't know, it doesn't match too well. I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't match too well, but I really liked the Realm of Magic tiles that I ended up using, and I thought it came together really nicely. There aren't too many pops of color throughout this build. Like I said, it is a lot of just black and white and grays, but in the bathroom, it's, I don't know, it's kind of a nice contrast between everything, I think. And I don't know, I put some artwork on the wall and call it a day. It's a bathroom. It's no biggie. And now I move on upstairs, and every single room, obviously aside from the bathrooms, has the same wooden floors, and the entire home has the exact same paneling, again aside from the bathrooms that have tiling. And up here on this little landing, I just kind of put that decorative vase and little corner table, as well as a love seat and a plant. And then I put the sconces outside of all of the doors, as well as maybe one other piece of wall art. I didn't go crazy with decorations on this landing space because I feel like when I looked at the outside structure of the house, I was picturing the landing space to be so much bigger. But with the placement of all the windows, which again, I should really think about the floor plan before I place all the windows. With the placement of the windows, it just didn't seem feasible to make it too much bigger. The rooms were like awkward sizes. I don't know. But now I'm working on the bedroom, and this is my favorite room in the entire home because I use two wardrobes. I put them on each end of the room here, and then the wall is basically all mirrors. And like, does that not scream luxury to you? Because that's my visual of luxury. Like, I have no idea. I also put an ottoman at the end here, and then I decided to put them between both of these wardrobes as well. They do kind of pull into the wall a little bit, so I have to pull them out and kind of test that out. But I really, really like this bedroom. I mean, yeah, it may be a little weirded out when you wake up and you can see your reflection immediately at the end of the bed. I don't know. But I thought it was so, so nice. I pictured the wife living here as a, not really a fashion guru, but like very into looking always put together, like looking pristine at all times. And I feel like her wardrobe is stuffed to the brim, whereas the husband's, he just has like 5 suits that he rotates out or something. I have no idea. And over here, I used another mirror, so there is just kind of a standing mirror off in the corner, as well as a chair and just a little side table. I give them a bookshelf in the corner, and I actually put 2 little chairs here in front of the windows because they can't access that balcony. But I thought these armchairs right here facing the windows was really nice. I have this feeling that this couple, I think they sit in those chairs and they just like watch people walk up and down the street, like they're assessing if they belong in the neighborhood or not. I feel like they're those kind of people, like super snobby and yet try to claim that they're super humble about their wealth and where they came from. They seem very interesting in my head. They may not be my kind of people, but they definitely seem eccentric in their own way. And now I'm working on another one of the rooms, which ends up being an office, and I have to tip my hat to Simlacy because her land grab mansion definitely inspired my desire to do an office. I have done offices before, it's not like I don't do them, but this one in particular, because I was trying to figure out how to use all of these extra rooms that I created when I didn't picture them as a couple with children, I didn't really know how to fill them. So this is the office. Again, if the husband is like a tech guru or something, maybe that's where he conducts most of his business. I don't know. And in this room here that kind of has an archway leading to the bedroom, I end up giving them 2 treadmills and a TV. So this is their little like workout nook. So it is a little odd because you have to walk through that area to get into the bedroom, but I don't know, I think it works. And they have a stereo in there as well, so they can listen to music and or watch TV while they're getting their workout on. And I feel like the wife runs every single morning religiously. Like she runs like 5 to 10 miles or something every morning. That's what I would imagine. And in this room is actually a little tiny yoga studio. So I also feel like this couple religiously does yoga together. Like that's their thing and they love it. They just feel as though they're so worldly and the wellness is just of the utmost concern to them. And I don't know, I feel like they don't take it super seriously. At least not legitimately. I don't know. I feel like they're really full of themselves and they're kind of phony, but I also kind of like them. And I really like this little yoga studio here because it's really cozy. I don't put any overhead lights. I put a couple of plants and then there are some candles off on a console table over here. And then I end up working on the other bathroom. So I think that's it. I think there's actually only 2 bathrooms in this home, which is crazy. I thought there were a lot more than that, but I guess I was wrong. And I also switch out all of the lights to these very fancy chandeliers that we got with Get Famous. And for the screenshots, I change it all to white light because I can't stand that yellow light unless it's for candles. So you'll notice that in the screenshots, it's actually a little bit whiter, a little bit brighter. And then I give them double sinks here, as well as a bathtub shower combo, and of course a toilet because, well, for a bathroom, you're gonna need that. And we're actually really getting close to the end of the build, so thank you for bearing with me as I scrambled through this voiceover. It's been about a week since I've done a voiceover, so kind of had to get in the groove of it again, and this was a real long build to get back in that groove. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this build, and I will talk to you next time I post a video, and you can find this on the gallery very, very soon. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Always on tonight. Throw that thing from left, right, side to side. Yeah. All my friends are here. Play my favorite song right on top. Yeah. And we never stop. Music bumping, we just keep on rolling. Yeah. No, we never stop. Shake, shake, shake your honey till the morning. Let me hear you say I'm ready. I'm ready. Come on, now slide, slide, slide to the bar. Shine, shine, shine like a star. Let me hear you say I'm ready. I'm ready. Come on, now slide, slide, slide to the bar. Shine, shine, shine like a star. Yeah, I said I wanna see you slide, slide, slide. I said I wanna see you shine, shine, shine. Always on tonight. Throw that thing from left, right, side to side. Yeah. All my friends are here. Play my favorite song right on time. Ooh, and we never stop. Music pumping, we just keep on rolling. No, we never stop. Shake, shake, shake your honey till the morning. Let me hear you say I'm ready. I'm ready. Come on, now slide, slide, slide to the bar. Shine, shine, shine like a star. Let me hear you say I'm ready. I'm ready. Come on, now slide, slide, slide to the bar. Shine, shine, shine like a star. Yeah, I said I wanna see you slide, slide, slide. Yeah, come on now, now, now. I said I wanna see you shine, shine, shine. I wanna see ya. I wanna see